All right. I'm Liz Granberg Jerome from Gypsy Dreamer Quilts, and I'm back on behalf of Quilters Paradise in Baldwin City, Kansas, for another installment of the This Way or That Block of the Month Second Saturday Sampler. And this month we're going to be working on the Sawtooth Patchwork block. And this is made up of half square triangles, which you've done a couple of times now. And we're adding a new unit. We're going to be making the diamond in a square. So this is where we're at. This way, down here. There we go. The half square triangles you've done before. The diamond in a square is made by sewing little squares that you draw on the diagonal, and you're going to sew two, one on each side, lining up and sewing right here. One of them I've trimmed off already. That makes the little scrap triangles here that if you like saving little triangle sets, you can. I've pressed this one out, and if you notice, it's nice and square, and it's square here, so I know I'm gonna cover the corner the way I need to. So now this one is ready to trim as well. So you're doing these two little squares, one on each side. We'll trim that off. And then you're gonna take two more squares, and you're gonna do the same thing. You're going to line up the corner and put it along the edges, and there is going to be an overlap. And the reason being is when you get this sewn on, you want there to be an overlap so that there's a 1/4 inch from the point to the edge of your block. That's going to be in your seam, and your point will actually go to the edge of your block when it's sewn together. So this will get sewn on here. This one will get sewn on here, and they will get pressed back, and you'll have a diamond in a square. So after they're sewn on, press them, double check and make sure everything's going to cover, and then you can trim off the outside edges here just like we did on this one. So once you're sewing this one together, it's going to go together in 3 rows. It's an equal 9 patch, meaning it has 9 units that are all the same size. And when you sew the top row together, I tend to sew with the diamond in a square unit on top, so that when I sew my 1/4 inch, I know that my 1/4 inch is going to intersect where that point is, so that when I press it, that point is going to be right at the seam. Now these 3 blocks are a little bit trickier to sew together. So what I do on these is I take a pin and I would put it in the point of both blocks to where that point is right there. And I've already sewn this, so I've already done the adjusting. Then I would take a pin and put in on this side, and another pin on this side, and then I'd take another pin, and with this one still here, standing straight up, keeping those 2 points aligned, I would put a 3rd pin in, coming out right where those blocks points line up. Then you can take the one standing up out. Then you would sew that seam, and after you've sewn that seam, your points should meet at the edge and make a really nice intersection so that all of those diamonds match up. When you're finishing this block, I press this block towards the half square triangles, this row. The center row will get pressed towards the center diamond, and then after this block is complete and sewn on, it would be pressed out as well. And that is making the Sawtooth Patchwork block. So a nice short, sweet one this time. Hope you're having fun making the blocks. See you next month.